Hello everyone, Darene Patagirl here from Noosa, Australia, Faster EFT tapping practitioner, and today I have Shihadeh from San Bruno, California. And
yes, ma'am.
hello,
Hi,
Mark.
Darene. Nice to be here.
And the reason I've invited Mark for an interview is I'm busy running a 21-day abundance tapping challenge, and I have 8 amazing ladies in my group. So I'm especially doing this for them and our tapping community because I recently discovered that Mark specializes in the law of attraction and getting what you want. So who better than him to ask a whole bunch of questions so we can power ahead with manifesting?
Yes, and I only charge $3 a question, so it should be pretty affordable.
Okay, good. I'll pay you later if you get the answers right. Okay, so Mark, you're a certified life coach and a level 4 advanced tapping practitioner. And you run a group called Tap It Out, Tapping in the Law of Attraction. And I notice you have nearly 1,000 members.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah,
So,
I'm also a certified law of attraction practitioner as well.
oh, is that a specific certification?
Yeah,
I never knew that.
there is one out there. It was easy.
Oh.
I could have written that thing.
Okay, so then let's get right into it. So what are your top tips? You're the expert. What are your top tips for manifesting success, and where does tapping fit in?
Oh, very good question. Now success, top tips for, well, to me, success is happiness and fulfilling our true inner desires. Sometimes we think we want something, and so let's say I want, I'm married now, but let's say I want to attract a wife. So what I want to do, Darene, is I want to use a law of attraction to attract a red Porsche so I can drive around in it, and the women are, they like it, and they think I'm a hot shot, and then that's how I'm going to attract women. Right? So now, if that's not really in alignment with what my inner, I'll say my inner self, you can say subconscious, I can say my inner self, the universe, it pretty much knows I want love and I want to feel secure. So sometimes we think we want things because we think we'll get something. So success. So let's say I want to be rich because I think money will make me happy, right? Whereas really so a top tip for this is to evoke the feeling inside before you attract what you think you want. So if I want to attract money, lots of money, abundance of money, and success in my field, I have to, instead of depending on the money to give me this secure feeling, financially secure, I need to feel that way, the way the law of attraction works. This is high level law of attraction. Leading edge law of attraction principles is I have to feel that inside of me first. And I have to own that and be it. Now, if I'm feeling secure and I tap on my money issues, and I would talk about that, we can talk about that more, then I can attract success. So you want the top ways to attract success is, number one, think about why you want this thing and get in touch with yourself and answer that question is, do I really want this? Another top thing is what happens to me is for me. So let's say I do want to have success and I go out for a job and I really want this job unless I apply for a job. And I want it so bad and then I don't get it. And I'm so upset. Well, the understanding of the law of attraction, the way I know it, is my inner self knows the kind of job that I want, really knows the kind of job that I want. And my conscious mind, I might think I want this job, but there might be a bigger picture. So I might not get this job because there's a better job out there for me. So it's like going with the flow of life. The things that happen to me, they're not happening to me, they're happening for me. And that's a good way to live life. It's not easy, it's a practice. You know, the things that happen to me are for me. And then instead of asking the question, here's another tip. The questions you ask are very important. You can ask, why is this happening to me? Why didn't I get this job? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with them? That the guy who interviewed me, and instead of asking these kinds of questions, which actually block the law of attraction from working and attracting what we want. The kind of questions is, how is this for me? And you can say, well, maybe there's something better out there. Maybe I don't see the bigger picture. So, okay, if I really wanted it, but it didn't happen for me, and how is this for me? And then you can set that intention out, and the universe can answer that in time to show me or tell me or give me a message of how this is for me. So that's just a few.
Yes, I love that. Hey, there's a kind of surrender to it. And
Absolute surrender.
To know, not being so fixed on the outcome. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a surrender and a detachment.
Okay, beautiful. And as you were saying, it's all inside of us, really. We're looking to be happy first and foremost. Otherwise, that money is not going to do anything for us.
That's right. That's right.
And one of the exercises I sent out to my group today was self-love, all about self-love and asking those questions. Can I love me? Can I live with me? Have I forgiven myself for everything? Let go the guilt, the shame, and that's where tapping comes in, doesn't it, Mark?
Absolutely. And I love the idea of self-love. It's huge. It's huge. Like my whole thing has been self-empowerment. And self-empowerment, self-love is the foundation of that.
Yeah. Well, I've borrowed a bit from Marissa Peer, that Britain's best therapist. I love her. And she created the I Am Enough movement. So I'm getting my group to somewhere write the words I am enough, just to keep building up that self-love, because we're always looking for where we fall short. And, let's give ourselves more credit for how far we've come. Because it really is a hero's journey. It's not always going to be straightforward.
I love that. Yeah. And, it's a good exercise to do is when you say, I am enough, you notice any resistance that comes up, you write it down and you can tap on it.
Yay. There's always something to tap on.
Right.
And a common one in my group we discovered was procrastination. We want all these things and then we procrastinate. So have you got some wisdom on that?
I absolutely have wisdom on procrastination.
Yes, I knew you were my guy.
It's a very, it kind of goes along the same lines of, so procrastinating, think about this. I want to do something. I think I should. So the shoulds. I should, work on my business and work on my website, let's say. I should do this. And oh God, it's been 3 weeks and I haven't been able to make myself do this. So these shoulds and these making ourselves do things, it's not really in the flow of your life, right? Another key, very big key idea with law of attraction is to work from inspiration instead of motivation. So motivation is I should. I need to motivate myself to get to do this. So I'm not procrastinating. Inspiration means my job isn't to get shit done. My job isn't to get the things done that I think I want done. My job is to feel as good as I can in the moment and to work on that and tap.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Everything flows from that.
Everything flows from that. Two things happen when you do that. And that's a practice and that's an art too. When you feel as good as you can in the moment, and that's your job, that's a lot of tapping you can do on that. Number one, the universe will conspire on your behalf to help you get the things you want. That's number one. Number two, you will get inspiration to do the things. So back to procrastination. If I'm procrastinating, if I want to do something and I'm not able to allow myself to do it, what do I do with that? Do I beat up on myself? Do I feel bad? You know, all these things block the law of attraction, to block the things that you want. It comes back to the self-love, right? Beating up on yourself is not self-love. So you say, okay, there must be a reason why I'm not inspired. So let me let go of this. Let me set an intention to, let's say, receive help, receive more information, and let me go with the flow so that the perfect inspiration to get this thing done that I want to will come in good timing, and then I'll go with the flow. It's again surrendering and trusting that you will get that inspiration to do it when the time is right. So sometimes we think the time is right, but you know, our inner self has a much bigger force for the trees view perspective that we have no idea what, you know, we don't have that perspective. We don't have the higher perspective.
Yeah. Wow. And you know, we work on, when we're trying to manifest what we want, okay, in my group, we're working on all our beliefs. We're uncovering all our limiting beliefs so we can tap on them.
Love it.
And then then very interesting, I have a question for you here. So when you get to the core beliefs of I'm not good enough, or I am stupid, I'm not capable, these core beliefs that drive us, do you believe it's ever possible to get rid of them? Or do we just do we kind of just live with them?
Never live with them. Never live with them. My dog is licking her. Okay, so what you do is you, what did you just, what are some of the things you just said? Some of those statements?
Because I just find with some people, we can do a lot of tapping and they might have
I'm not good enough.
a very core belief, I'm not good enough, and it keeps popping up even though they've worked on the memories. So how do you deal with that?
Well, that just means there's more memories. So you say, again, I'm not good enough. How do I know? And from there will come memories.
Yeah.
And you put those down and can tap some more and rewrite those. Lots of times people, they tap it down to a 0, they tap, but they don't do the rewrite and practice the rewrite, which is the other half. Super important. So what happens is when you find enough of these imprints, primary imprints, the primary imprints contain the core beliefs. When you flip that memory, the core beliefs will dissipate.
Yes.
Yeah. So does that answer your question?
Beautiful. You put it very well. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'd like to ask you, so once you've done all the tapping, how do you deal with the action bit? How much importance do you place on that? Like I've now tapped down my belief I'm not good enough. I've found the primary imprints from childhood. I've got a bit of noise here in the background. Well, I'm just going to close my window. Here you go. I'll just edit that bit out. Hopefully.
You don't have to keep it in.
Yeah.
No big deal.
life's happening. Somebody's building a carport for us, and he's just come back from his lunch break.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I guess I could say the universe is working for me. I've got somebody building a carport for me.
I love it. Exactly. You were listening. Somebody's listening. Oh my God, that's a first for me. No, just kidding.
Oh, yeah. So, so I tapped down the primary imprints from childhood when I decided I wasn't good enough. And now I continue with my life. What action?
Okay.
How important is the action piece now to go and manifest something I want, where I need to feel good about myself?
Great question. Action is secondary. It's not primary. You know, it's inspired action is what we want to. So again, it's getting out of our own way because we think we need to act, and we usually do it prematurely, or we do it not in alignment, you know, with ourselves. So there has to be a surrender and a trust. And this is, again, these concepts is something I've been practicing for years, actually. And it's something to practice because you know, people can say, well, yeah, Mark, that's easy for you to say, you know, you got to get stuff done. You can't just sit around meditating. And I'm not talking about sit around and doing nothing, because once you get into the flow and learn how to really do this, your action is really powerful, and it has 1,000 times leverage, more leverage than action done from motivation, or that you think you need to go and get something done. So you kind of know based on how you feel. If the action, the idea of doing this action, if it feels good, go for it. If you're not ready for that action, then your work is to work on feeling good. And you can work on conjuring the feeling of what you think this action will get for you.
Right.
So that's more primary. You know, you do that first, and then the action, and then trust that you will get inspired action. You will get inspiration for the right action to take. Sometimes the right action is no action.
Okay. But I'm sure you would agree that even when you're taking inspired action, it can feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. Then you tap on the fear.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I did that with my journey with Faster EFT. Like when I got my level 4 certification, the next step was to go and help Robert with the trainings. And at first I didn't want to do it, and I had a lot of fear. So I wasn't, and then I was inspired to do it, but I had to tap on that idea, and I had to tap on, this is a whole new level of doing this. And I had a lot of tapping to do, and even while I was there tapping. So
I love it. You know, here you are, and you still using the tool in your everyday life. You never reach a point where you've made it, because we're constantly growing and stretching, you know. And I was saying to my group, it's just like nature. You know, the water's always flowing and the trees are growing. And if you stagnate, it's kind of against the law of nature. So we really are here to grow and move into our discomfort. And of course, we have the fantastic tool of tapping to help us get through all these little obstacles on our hero's journey.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, it gets, you know, this flow that I'm talking about, it's a really enjoyable experience. Things will start to just click, and things will work out, and and you're like, oh wow, I'm working way too hard at this than I thought I had to. So this way is working not as hard as you think you should.
And that's a belief, isn't it? Yeah,
Yes, it is.
I have to work hard to get to this place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a fun flow. It really is. And then your challenge will come up, and you say, like Robert will say, I get to tap on it. Not I have to tap on it. I get to tap on it.
I get to tap on it. Yeah, it's the wording, isn't it? Because we're sending messages to the body and the brain with our thoughts and our wording.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. Oh. So Mark, what is your spin on living your best life? how do you live your best life? What do you do every day to make sure that you're doing that?
Okay, so a lot of the things I'm talking about, it may sound spiritual, and I talk about inner self and the universe, but I think any religion can go, along with that. I mean, it's not contrary to Buddhism or Christianity or Judaism or Islam. It's any religion can jive with what I'm saying I believe. But anyway, to answer your question, it's the idea that I have an inner self that has this natural inner self-love, never judges me, never thinks I should be doing something faster, never judges anyone else, thinks everything is okay. And when I'm in alignment with that inner self, my spirit, you might want to say your soul, which is connected to the universe, when I'm in alignment with that, which means I'm feeling good and thinking higher perspective thoughts, that is my best self. That is a very powerful way to live life and to go through life. So that's my highest. When I'm doing that, I'm having fun, I'm living my life, I'm going with the flow, and I'm trusting, and I'm not stressed out as much and having a blast.
Yeah.
Not always. And then stuff comes up and the shit will hit the fan sometimes, and you just gotta, okay.
Yeah. So how would you say tapping has changed your life?
Tapping, oh my God. I mean, well, just the idea of finding this modality that Robert created and just scrutinizing it first and really studying what it was, and then going, I really like what he has to say, and it's really such a smart system. And then going to level one and say, let's see what he's talking about in level one, and then, oh wow, and then going into level two. And so really going through the trainings and having this, I've been searching for a modality like this for my whole life. I'm always searching for modalities that give us self-empowerment, and Mastery of T is the best tool that I've ever found. And that's why I think it's the fastest way to allow the law of attraction to work in our lives. So just the fact that something I've been searching for my whole life and I found this has changed my life. And I use it for myself. I've used it for so many things in my life. I use it. I went on a walk today and I was practicing my rewrites. So it changed my life in the way where I'm tapping and working on myself all the time. And I love this tool to have. I always have a tool now. Powerful.
Wow. And are you able to share any specifics with us on how things that have changed for you?
Yeah. Well, all the things. Okay, so what I've done, I've been an entrepreneur for many years, and I haven't had a 9-to-5 job in a long time. And that can be, I used to grind, I used to work hard, I used to, try not to procrastinate and try to make things happen. And as I do this law of attraction approach to letting go, surrendering, going with the flow, the tapping helps me get there. Like you said, you can use tapping as the tool. So as I tap on any resistance I have or limiting beliefs or memories that come up, and I go, okay, this is something I want to change and rewrite. My life has been, like I mentioned earlier, it's fun. It's a flow. There's a magic to life where it's like an adventure. And so changed my life in where I've been having some amazing adventures this last 2 or 3, 4 years, just to talk about that. So just lots of, traveling with Robert, going to Greece, having so much fun with that. And this whole experience of going through the trainings, meeting so many awesome people, in my co-practitioners, lifelong friends, and then going on other adventures. Like 2019, I was on a plane once a month at least. I was going everywhere, and things were just flowing. So it's just changed my life in just a kind of a magical way. But again, things come up and I still tap.
Yeah. Oh,
I
that's
always have to add that part to it, right?
yes, yes.
It's not like you said, it's not like you get everything and everything's always great.
Yeah. We're on the journey of life. Stuff
That's right.
happens.
The
And,
hero's journey.
but isn't that beautiful? That, you know, and here you are. And what comes across for me is your life is magical now, and you've really embraced that, and you're living from inspiration, not motivation.
As
So
much as I can.
those are my takeaways, you know, and that
I love that.
wait for the answers to come. You don't have to push so hard. Beautiful. So I'm going to end off with one more question, and that is more inspiration. So do you have a favorite book that's inspired you, or a mentor, or some quote you live by, some motto you live by that I can share with my beautiful group?
All right. Your beautiful group. Abraham Hicks is one of my #1 teachers that I've learned the law of attraction from. And they have a book called The Law of Attraction. It's an excellent book. I've also with someone that's called The Teachings of Joshua. It's similar to Abraham Hicks, and they're good friends with mine. And they had a podcast, and I was part of the podcast, and I've traveled with them. His name is Gary Bodley. He channels The Teachings of Joshua. He has 4 or 5 books. One book is called A Perception of Reality. Really good law of attraction book. So those two books, The Law of Attraction by Abraham Hicks, A Perception of Reality by Gary Temple Bodley, channeling The Teachings of Joshua. My favorite motto or affirmation is from Abraham Hicks, and that is, there's nothing more important than feeling good.
There's nothing more important than feeling good.
Yeah.
I love that. And that sounds a bit like Robert G. Smith, you know, feel good for no reason at all.
That's right. And he's another mentor. He's a definite mentor of mine and teaching teacher. So I can't leave that out.
And so often we just don't give ourselves the permission to feel good or relax, take time out. And that goes back to our conditioning, doesn't it?
That's right. We say, I will feel good when.
When, yeah.
Get this.
Yeah.
I will feel good, or I will deserve to feel good. Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, well, Mark, this has been fantastic. So the last thing I'll ask you is, where can people find you? If they want to join your group.
Okay, so yeah, my group is on Facebook. It's called Tap It Out. Tap It Out group, and you should be able to find it just from that. Tap It Out. It's also tapping in the law of attraction. So, you know, I also have a podcast. It's called the Tap It Out podcast with Mark Shihadeh. And you can find that anywhere where you can listen to podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, or Apple, Podbean. And I do have my website, markwshihadeh.com.
Fantastic. Those are quite a few places where my group and other tapping practitioners listening to this can go and find more of you and your yummy advice and inspiration. It's been such a pleasure. So thank you so much, Mark, and keep inspiring us. I'll be following you.
Well, it's been a real pleasure to me, and I love what you're doing with your group, and I wish you all the best in this group. It's awesome what you're doing, and so I applaud you and your group for meeting. What do you meet once a week?
It's a 21-day challenge, so every day I'm giving them little tasks as they move along on their hero's journey, working out what they want, what they don't want, tapping on all the limiting beliefs and, you know, all that, the emotions, the memories, so that they can get to where they want to go and see clearly.
So what day are you on now?
We are on day 6. Today is
Wow,
day
that is
6.
super exciting. That is,
Yeah.
you guys going to change some lives for sure.
Oh man, and they're such a great bunch of women. They've jumped all in, and we have little webinars where we do some group tapping, and as you know, that's very powerful too. So this is going to be the little cherry on top. Thank you so much, Mark.
My pleasure. And I've kept track of all the questions. So, I'll send you a bill and it shouldn't be too much. And, you can send it to me when you have it.
Okay, well, things go wrong here in Australia. Nothing gets to us. The kangaroos,
really?
the kangaroos eat the mail. So.
Oh, darn it. All right. Never mind then.
Yeah. Okay, bye for now.
Bye. Thank you, Darene.